School is a wild place. Every day is like a gamble, you never know what's gonna happen. Most days are pretty freaking boring, but every once in a while, something interesting happens. And this year I'm at a new school, and it's only been like 2 months, but there's already been some crazy stuff that's happened. One of which is my teacher being a Twitch streamer, so, you know, the usual. I guess the teacher paycheck just really ain't cutting it anymore with inflation and all. So flashback to 2 months ago. I walk in on the first day to my geometry class and the teacher introduces herself. She says all the typical stuff like, "Hello class, welcome to geometry, I'm gonna be your teacher and are you ready to learn about triangles?" But I mean, she was a decent math teacher, which is a pretty big achievement. I don't know what it is about math teachers, but they just seem to teach you in the most complicated way known to man. How am I more confused than when I first got here? But I digress. For the first few weeks or so, everything is pretty normal. But a month or so into school, there's a bit of a rumor going around about our teacher. One day, I walk in and sit down, and some kid at my table just says, "Did you know our teacher streams on Twitch?" Well, that came out of nowhere. What? Yeah, everyone's talking about it. I guess she streams on Twitch or something. I was highly skeptical because, number one, I'm in a class with sophomores. And if you don't know, freshmen and sophomores have a reputation amongst upperclassmen. Basically, we find sophomores and particularly freshmen annoying because they just don't know how to chill. It's like they all had 12 cups of coffee before class and they just say the most out-of-pocket things. I think my class is just cursed now that I'm thinking about it. So who knows if what they're saying is even true. And 2. There was absolutely no evidence of our teacher being a streamer whatsoever. She didn't talk about games, she didn't have any posters, figurines, merch, you name it, anything resembling that she even played video games. She never talked about any streamers or YouTubers, so there was no reason for anyone to suspect that she was a streamer. So I didn't think much of it until a few minutes later when the kids in class actually pulled up her Twitch and there she was. She streamed Valorant and everything. Which brought up the question in my mind of, how in the hell did you guys even find this? Like I said, there was no evidence at all that she streamed, so what happened? Initially, I thought some kid with government infiltration level detective skills scavenged the internet to find her Twitch. But when I was making this video, I looked up her name and, oh, I guess that's how they found it. So that means that someone just randomly got the bright idea to look up our teacher's name to see if they could find anything. Maybe they were just that bored in class or something. But we were all flabbergasted when we found out, and it started to spread around the school. Eventually, kids even started writing her usernames on the whiteboards for all to see. A couple days later, she addressed the rumors and said, "Yeah, I stream on Twitch. Please stop writing my usernames on the boards. Thanks." So naturally, they kept writing it on the boards. It got so bad to the point where she privated all her social media and threatened to write referrals to anyone who did it again. And eventually they didn't appear on the board anymore and people stopped talking about it. But the story doesn't end there. This teacher had one particular habit that made everyone hate her class. She was always absent. She was never at school. Every day it was just a random chance that she would actually be there. It was rarer to see our own teacher than to get a sub. She always said she was sick or had a sinus infection. This happened so often that kids thought she just skipped class and was chilling at home streaming or something. Well, that sounds amazing! Always having substitutes? You get to do whatever you want. Yeah, it's all fun and games until you get your report card. Since we had a sub like at least twice a week, it made it impossible to learn anything. Sometimes we learned new topics one day before the test, and kids constantly failed. So they started to complain and always talked about switching out of her class. The chaos continues, but then one day, a couple days before the quarter ends, she makes another shocking announcement. She told us that she got fired. What? Okay, I was not expecting that. So what was she fired for? Apparently, she got fired for having too many absences, which didn't seem legit to me and everyone else in the class. You had too many absences, so you got fired? Now, I'm no teacher, but how do you not know how many vacation days you have? Isn't that in your contract? Kids were suspicious, but no one said anything, cause what could we say? Maybe she had some personal things going on, or it was because everyone was failing. But regardless, this was a pretty big deal, and after a couple days, she packed her bags, and just like that, she was gone. Now, we have a new temporary teacher, and people aren't failing as much. It's still chaotic, though. This whole situation was pretty unhinged, but if you guys have any stories of crazy teachers, then feel free to discuss in the comments. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time.